What up, guys? Feels really good to be back in LA, and I'm really excited because before I came here, my coach was like, all right, you're 2 weeks out. You have to train with kilo plates. I gotta see how you move with competition grade equipment. And that feels good because, you know, when I'm training at home, the environment's different. It's way hotter. I have an angled garage and I don't even have a deadlift bar. So I'm using like all-purpose bars. I'm not using competition power bars, and I'm not using competition plates. So it's super fun to always come back where the environment is hands down the best. It motivates me. I see everyone working hard and I'm just in the zone. I'm not thinking about Taika in the other room or anything like that. And today I smashed 2 really good numbers, and this is really good. So I can't wait to show you. I actually sent it to my coach, who I'll FaceTime later, so we'll get his comments on that. But first of all, check this out. 450, a little bit high, yes I know, but 451 on competition. Looks like could be an opener, could be a second attempt, who knows. I'm super fatigued. I haven't fully deloaded yet, but that's 451, which felt really good. And then on the deads, 528. Look at that. Really working on form, pulling slack on the bar before I pull. Technique is something that my coach and I have been working on a lot this whole meet prep, because when it comes down to meet day, I do have a tendency to just muscle it and just go ham and go balls to the wall, or as the kids say, send it. But you know, you don't want to just do that. I want to make sure that my technique is there so that when I do send it, it's great technique, maximizing my leverages and the physics of my body. And everything feels good. I've been able to keep my weight down. I'm at about a 185, 186 right now, so I'm only 4 or 5 pounds away. My weight is on the, my strength is on the up and up, so I'm really, really excited for this meet. You know, this whole meet prep, it's been pretty shaky just because I'm constantly bouncing around gyms. Like in Vegas, I was training at Dragon's Lair a little bit, and then I would train in my garage, and every other week I'm training at Barbell in LA. So my weights and my equipment hasn't been that consistent, as well as even training with Silent Mike and Russ Wool, you know, just going and traveling, doing all kinds of stuff. So RPE has been very helpful because I'm trying to keep things within a range. But because of all the movement, it's really hard to get super consistent data. And when you're like a powerlifting specimen like myself, like when you're like the Usain Bolt of powerlifting, you need to make sure all of the factors are good, you know, like the temperature, the climate, the humidity, is everything perfect. And when things change around like that, you can never really like forecast and speculate where you're going. But shout outs to my coach Sean, he's actually really good. Me giving him this very rough, kind of rough around the edges type of data, we do talk almost every other day and we make sure we're dialing it in. So the fact that I can hit 450 in the gym now, fully fatigued, actually shoots my confidence way up. I feel like 500 could be there, if not 575, 585, anything above pretty much 450. Even right now it's a PR because I've never hit 450 in the low 180s. So I feel like after I taper and I recover the right way, who knows what kind of strength can be unleashed. But also, then again, because it's been shaky back and forth, I could have the most horrible meet day too. I don't know. I just don't want to jinx it, you know. I don't want to say everything feels so good at the meet day, fucking something bad happens, like a bomb out, because I bombed out before, and then, you know, everyone's like, what's up, dude? I thought you fucking said you were gonna send it. You didn't send nothing, you know. All right, let me show you guys some of the PRs from the last couple of weeks leading up to this, and it's been pretty good. So let's start with some Dragon's Lair footage. So right here I hit a 355, and this is back in May 24, and this is a very, very bittersweet moment, and you'll see why. So 355, it's halfway to 400 from 300, so I'm really happy about that. Got good form, touch and go, so that's not that good. But the bittersweet part of it is I did hit a pretty big weight, because that's probably going to be like a second attempt or something, but I did tweak my shoulder that day. And since then, I've been very hesitant with you know, pushing my chest and pushing my bench press. So that's why it's bittersweet. Like I hit a big number, but then my shoulder's been tweaked since then, but it hasn't hindered my progress. But I also can't give anything my all. So hopefully I'm just babying my shoulder. Hopefully something really cool happens on meet day. Yeah, so that's kind of like one of the examples where, since I'm bouncing around gyms, the bench height's different, the weights are different, the bars are different, everything is just, you know, completely different all the time. It's hard for me to really dial in the form. And when you're doing something like powerlifting, where it's so sport specific, where people even train in singlets, probably should train in a singlet today, people even train in singlets a few weeks out, you want everything to be dialed in as consistent as possible. So that is one of the things where, like, I might have used to, you know, the barbell height and launching the bar there, but then since I'm here, it's not there, and I launch it somewhere else and I tweak my shoulder. So that was a good bench. Here's a recent squat that I had at barbell, 425 for 5, and I was really happy with this. That was a little bit high, probably go a little bit lower, but the goal of this set is to get the volume. So that was more sunk in, and bam, and then one more. So that feels good to be able to pretty much rep 425 for 5. Probably had at least like 7 more in me, so that was pretty easy. And just my last big deadlift, and this is when my weight already started coming back down. This is up like lower than 190, and this is a 495 for 3. Really focusing on pulling the slack out of the bar, something that Sean's been helping me out a lot with, just because I have the tendency to yank. Because in case you don't know, I come from the older school of powerlifting, where you might say I'm a OG, and we did things the wrong way. Oh, and here's something that's pretty good recent. This is when I was training with Russ, 345. This was also with the tweaked shoulder, but I did a long pause, maybe like 2-second pause, I think. So that gave me a lot of confidence too. Anytime I could do pauses with like this kind of weight, I feel like my openers could be anywhere from 330 to 345, and then we'll see from there. Here is the most recent. This is 340 self lift off. Moved pretty good. As you can see, like it flew off the chest, but then as soon as it gets to the lockout, I always have to baby it, because that's where my shoulder happened, right? Went like this, and then my shoulder kind of like came forward, and then it tweaked it. But yeah, those are my most recent PRs of this last training block. So everything indicates that I'll have a pretty decent meet. I think my last meet at 181, I probably totaled like 1350-ish. And I feel like 1350 would be probably my, in between my first and second attempt. So it could be my second attempt. If I am not that recovered, but if I'm really recovered, could probably be in between my first and second attempt. So that tells me that whatever I hit, as long as I stay healthy, the whole meet will be a PR.